Week 7. Welcome to week 7 and Monday. Happy Monday. I don't know, does it really feel like Monday if we're just flowing along here? Sometimes it does to me, sometimes it doesn't. Anyways, you can see the time I'm probably doing this. It's a little early. 1:30. It's a little early. Sometimes I've done it later. Anywho, so continuation of the rights of the accused, the near and dear to my heart, the big 4 Supreme Court cases. On Friday, I had a little addendum to that basically said that you are taking this practice reading quiz as many times as you would like to do so on the Google form. And there's quite a few questions. There may be actually 2 grades attached. This may be a small test grade to this, as well as a homework classwork homework assignment grade. But if you would like to, in place of the second or third attempt, you may, I'm sorry, I'm getting the Bernie hands here, the second or third attempt, you may do the Edpuzzle crash course video questions instead, in place of the second or third attempt. I sent in 5-1. You may do that. Some of you may choose not to. Again, the Supreme Court cases could be answered in two different, basically this Mapp Gideon Miranda reading and the Escobedo, Illinois. Again, these are the cases that basically took 4th, 5th, 6th amendments that are near and dear to the hearts of the Constitution, the due process amendments, procedural, and applied them to the states starting in the 1960s. The very liberal court, the Warren Court, or Chief Justice Earl Warren leading this court, very liberal court, is actually quite a transition court. Some of these decisions are 5-4, but the Escobedo decision is a 5-4 decision, for example. I think Gideon is a 7-2. But there's a lot of dissents and a lot of different reasons. But the point of how this works and the Miranda warnings and the other things is the main takeaway from this. As we continue with these rights of the accused scenarios, now we've gone through the arrested trial procedures. We've gone through the actual, what does the amendments say and how does it apply? Now we're going to go look at some real life scenarios, and that's what we're doing that's today's new at peace, if you will. So there's 3 different things you can look at. Number 1, I attached with it some the investigation notes that are essentially A19, the criminal investigation law enforcement pair deck, but I've attached the actual notes here that I would have given on class if we were doing this on paper that really kind of go through the overview of what the 5th, 6th, 4th Amendments do. Again, the exclusionary principle with the 4th Amendment, any evidence not legally obtained by warrant or probable cause, it has to be excluded as evidence at trial. And then you can use the Constitution, or you can use A24, the Arrested Trial Procedures Pair Deck that we did did last week. Here is the assignment. Were your rights violated? So you're going to take a look at these, if it ever opens up, and you're going to look at each scenario. And what is the amendment? Was it or was it not violated? Yes, no. And then here's where you need a complete sentence or 2 on how or why it was not, or why it was or was not violated. How or why it was or was not violated. Most of these 4th, some 5th, a couple of them 6th, a few of them 8th. I went through them. I've pared them down in terms of looking at them and hopefully renumbered them. I'll double check that again as I'm going through here. But these aren't due till Thursday. Again, some of you still do your questions because I didn't make that due till Monday, so I'm a little behind on the due dates, but I'm still introducing this, and I will introduce a new piece on Wednesday. What that will look like, I'm not 100% certain. I don't know if we're going to do an article or we're just going to move on to court systems. I haven't quite made up my mind yet on that situation just yet, but you'll know on Wednesday. But right now, focus on this. And again, like for example, a police officer walking down a dark street notices an abandoned car, shines his flashlight in the car, discovers a shotgun in the back. Discovers a shotgun in the back seat. Obviously, this is the 4th Amendment. Was the 4th Amendment violated? Was the 4th Amendment violated? Well, let's take a gander here, whether it was or was not. So in this particular case, as I'm looking at this, No. Believe it or not, I'm going to give you the first one. No, there was nothing that would violate this because there is no expectation of privacy here. There's no expectation of privacy. Um, you an abandoned car in the middle of the road. A police officer has the right to look in to see what the heck's going on. Okay, so if they discover a shotgun in plain view, there is no expectation of privacy, especially if the vehicle's abandoned on a public road. Okay, so again, there is. Remember the Fourth Amendment. Think about remember the and the reason why I went through that one. Remember think about the Fourth Amendment applying to when there is an expectation of privacy. Okay, so that you're going to look at these. What's the amendment about? Was it violated? Why or how it was or was not violated? And that's after doing the practice questions for that I talked about on Wednesday, I talked about on Friday for the rights of the accused scenarios, the Supreme Court practice questions. You can do that, and then in place of for the improved score, you can do the due process crash course, or you can just keep retaking those that practice goes based on the reading and the Prezi, and then you see the other stuff that is overdue. And yes, I know I have a few presentations to go through that have been looked at, and I will do so. All right, until next time, take care.